my time.
The cousin of the Emperor was murdered. Insult. Sean, let that happen.
Lucky for you, that was just sitting there for the...
By the order of the Jarl. Stop right there.
Smart map.
Ah, at last. I've been anxiously awaiting your return. Yes, I know. As does Astrid. And you've earned your payment, though the bonus is forfeit, as I'm sure you're aware. But you should know that we have a more pressing matter to deal with. It's... Cicero. There's been an incident. You should proceed into the sanctuary. I'll let Astrid explain.
Just try to relax, Vizara. Let the elixir do its work. You'll feel better shortly.
You're back. Good. You'll want to hear
Most
this.
kind. The jester's cut feels as bad as it looks, I'm afraid.
Damn it, this never should have happened. We knew better. We knew better, and still we let our guards down. Ugh!
I'll admit, even I'm having a hard time disagreeing with you.
Marrow is dead, I know, but we've got bigger problems right now. The fool went absolutely berserk. He wounded Vizara, tried to kill me, and then he fled. I knew that lunatic couldn't be trusted.
Oh, it's true, I'm afraid. Cicero was a little whirlwind, slashing this way and that. It would have been funny if he weren't trying to murder us all.
Don't forget the ranting and raving. About the Night Mother, how she was the true leader of the Dark Brotherhood, and Astrid was just a pretender.
Look, we've got to deal with this situation. You've got to deal... Look, we've got to deal with this situation. You've got to deal with this situation. I want you to find that miserable little fool and end his life. But first, find my husband. Make sure he's all right. After the attack, Arnbjorn flew into a rage. When Cicero left, Arnbjorn went after him. They disappeared into the wild. Search Cicero's room. Maybe there's something in there that sheds some light on where he might have gone. Let me know the minute you find something. I've got to see to Vizara and calm everyone down.
Bested by a fool. Who's the fool now, hmm?
Hush, Vizara. I'm very brave. Astrid and death.
Have you found something? Good, good. Does it say where he may be headed? The Dawnstar Sanctuary? Whatever for. Never mind, it doesn't matter. You need to leave. Now. Every moment counts, so I want you to take my horse. His name is Shadowmere. You'll find him outside by the pool. Let's just say he's... one of us. Find Arnbjorn. Make sure my husband's all right. And then, send that jester's twisted little soul to the void, in as many pieces as possible. Oh, it's ancient. Apparently one of the first sanctuaries in Skyrim. It hasn't been used by the Brotherhood in close to 100 years. If you say Cicero has gone there, it stands to reason that he's familiar with the place. That means you'll be fighting him on his own ground. Tread carefully. No, nothing. At least, nothing I'm aware of. Well, if I'm being honest, I haven't exactly been discreet lately in expressing my frustration with this whole situation. Obeying the Night Mother, you being the listener, it's ridiculous. No offense. Cicero may have overheard me talking to one of the others about the Night Mother. It's possible I was not entirely respectful. But to go this far, to attempt to murder the leader of a sanctuary, Cicero must pay with his life. There is no other option. Look, the Dark Brotherhood is a family. This sanctuary is a family. And we've always welcomed those shunned by society. Werewolves, wizards, eternal 10-year-old vampires. What does it matter? In truth, I've rarely met a lunatic I haven't liked. Cicero's problem isn't his madness. It's an adherence to an ancient, outmoded way of life. The Night Mother's ways simply are not our ways. He just couldn't accept that. And now he'll have to pay the price. This sanctuary has been my entire life since I was a young woman. That's when I first discovered my, shall we call it, aptitude for elimination. I had an uncle, you see. He made certain unwanted advances. So I killed him, and liked it. Then I killed again, and liked it even more. And so on. I was recruited by the Dark Brotherhood, and have been here ever since. I met my husband, Arnbjorn, rose to leadership, and now, here we are. Damnable jester.
Should have figured Astrid would send you. Ugh, what gave it away? Yeah, gotta admit that little Jester's good with that butter knife. But don't worry, I gave as good as I got. In there, through the door. Some old sanctuary by the looks of it. I would have followed him, but I don't know the phrase. Alright, you convinced me. Doubt I'd be much good to you anyway. The little fop cut me pretty deep. But I slashed him good. Pretty sure I severed an artery. Don't know what you're gonna find in there. But you can probably just follow the blood.
What is life's greatest illusion?
The best to defeat the best. Astrid knew her stupid wolf couldn't slice.
Within the Dark Brotherhood, ask yourself, do you trust the wisdom of our leader? Kill this jester if you so desire. But there is a disturbance in the void. Our dread father does not wish this. My blade is yours.
listener understands. Maybe we can just forget about this. Bygones be bygones.
You can't take this
I feel slightly bad about these horror. Stupid lizard got in my way.
Should have figured Astrid would send you. What? Yeah, gotta admit that little gesture's good with that butter knife. But don't worry, I gave as good as I got. In there, through the door. Some old sanctuary by the looks of it. I would have followed him, but I don't know the phrase. Alright, you convinced me. But I slashed him good. Pretty sure I severed an artery. Don't know what you're gonna find in there. But you can probably just...
What is life's greatest illusion?
the best. Astrid knew her stupid wolf couldn't fly Cicero.
You caught me. I surrender. Oh, I like that. Very good, very good. Creative. But killing me would be a mistake. Oh, yes. You would displease our mother. For she's your mother too, isn't she? Listener. Walk away! Let poor Cicero live. Tell the pretender Astrid that you did the job. Stabbed, strangled, drowned poor Cicero. What little itty bitty lie.
Arnbjorn is safe, and for that you have my thanks. But what of the fool? Excellent. Once again, you've proven yourself a born assassin. Tell you what, why don't you hold on to Shadowmere a while longer? He's a fine steed, and hasn't been ridden nearly as much as he should lately. And now that this Cicero mess has been mopped up, we can get back to the matter at hand, There's just one more target before we strike out at the Emperor. Have you by chance heard of the Gourmet? Read his cookbook? It's become quite a phenomenon. The Gourmet is scheduled to cook for the Emperor at a special dinner. You'll kill him, steal his writ of passage, and assume the role of Master Chef. Festus has been spearheading this part of the assassination plan. He's close to uncovering the identity of the Gourmet. You should report to him. Watch yourself out there.
You must mean my little adventure on the ship.
It was a suicide mission, Astrid said as...
In truth...
There you are. Took your sweet time dealing with Cicero, eh? Now let's get down to business. Astrid told you about the Gourmet, I hope. Quite so. But first, you'll need to learn who he is, assuming, of course, that the Gourmet actually is a he. Could be a woman, for all we know. You know, maybe it seems to be a message from the Gourmet, I believe. Oh. Next, you'll have to... Oh, now off with you. Remember, the Markov key.
Have you brought more silver jewelry for me to sell?
Yes, I have. Adara made the rings herself. She is learning to bend the metal well.
Oh, they are perfect. Thank you both.
You didn't hear this?
So you don't know anything about this house?
No.
Anyone seen entering or leaving? Any strange lights or unusual noises?
It's abandoned.
Don't bother with Tacitus.
What are you hiding, priest?
Next season, for sure.
Yes, for the 100th time. I am a Breton. I was born in High Rock, and then I came here. I am not a Richman. Who are you? What do you want? The gourmet? Never. I don't know what led you here, but nothing will betray my trust. I'll take the secret of the gourmet's identity to my grave. The Dark Brotherhood? Now, wait a minute. Let's not get hasty. I mean, surely my friend wouldn't want me to endanger my own life, right? Look, his name is Balagog Gronolobe. He's an orc. The gourmet's an orc. He's staying at the Nightgate Inn. That's all I know. Now you'll let me go, right? Okay, all right. Wonderful. You're welcome. I'll just be on my way then.
Help! Someone's being attacked!
Here we go.
We're here to teach you a lesson. This... I'm getting out of here. Need a ride? Where do you want to go? Climb and back and we'll be off. Couldn't ask for better weather.
Killing the gourmet will leave an emptiness in the collective soul of Skyrim. This pleases me.
Whatever it is, I'm sure I can't be of help. I'm just...
One day,
I just knew you had the stomach for it. Never should have come here.
I've suffered worse. Your enemies will soon know. And the glistening crimson one feels.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go? Climb and back and we'll be off. Couldn't ask for better weather.
must mean my little adventure on the ship.
You reek of
So, the prodigal... Good, good. I also received... But unfortunately... Bah! Useless. Here's your gold. Now go see Astrid. The time to move against the Emperor has finally come.
So it's done. Oh, yes. And I've decided you will have the honor. Look at you. So calm, so confident. I do believe you were born for this task. So let's begin. Go now to Castle Dower in Solitude. Present the gourmet's writ of passage to the officer in charge, Commander Marrow. I'm sure you remember him. You'll gain unrestricted access to the kitchens, and then the Emperor. You're posing as a chef, so you'll be able to poison his meal rather easily. Here, take this. It's called Jaren root. All it takes is one taste, and the effects are quite immediate. The Emperor will be serving Sithis before he even knows he's dead. Once Mead has been killed, escape through the upper door and across the bridge. I've arranged for it to be unguarded once the alarm is sounded. Now go, my friend. Go and fulfill your destiny as listener. It's a rare plant. One taste will lead to nearly... It took all... Just follow my instructions, and the Dark Brotherhood will be back on top. All thanks to you, listener.
Helgen, what do you... need? You have committed crimes against Skyrim and her people. Smart man. Now come along with us.
I'm not interested, Joey. It doesn't matter how many times you ask.
You might want to rethink that. This city is crawling with Imperial Legion, and you know what?
Stop right there. What's this now? An order of His Eminence by Azra, the gourmet. I'm sorry. Your clothes, of course. I should have realized. Please, excuse my ignorance. Gianna, the castle chef, has been eagerly awaiting your arrival. You should proceed to the kitchen straight away.
Myself.
I'm going to pretend to be here.
On another delivery, I took the gourmet. Oh, finally. When I heard the gourmet was being brought in to cook for the Emperor, I could hardly believe it. It's just... Oh well, it's just... I never imagined the gourmet was a Khajiit. You know, because of all the fur and the potential for getting hair in the... Oh, yes, but of course. The Emperor has requested your signature dish. The potage le magnifique. But the cookbook, the base broth is already boiled. We can get started right now. So, carrots? What next? Ah, of course. I suspected as much. Really? Okay, now what? Sorry. I have to say, the stew seems done. Add anything else and we may dilute the distinct flavors. So, is that it? Oh, what is this? Some kind of herb? I'm sorry. All right then. I'll carry the stew pot and lead the way up to the dining room. I'm sure the Emperor and his guests are dying to meet you.
Recent business with the Yellows. How dreadful.
Here we are. Gods, I'm nervous. We'll go in just a moment. Please, I'll serve. You just stand there and be amazing.
But an isolated incident. And I have been assured that the fault was with the man's son alone. Truth is, we are in no danger whatsoever. Killing an emperor can be useful. But befriending one, now that's beneficial. As I'm sure you'd all agree. Aha! Here we are, honored guests. I present to you the gourmet. Ah, the potage le magnifique. So delicious. My friends, as Emperor, I of course reserve the right of first taste. Oh, how marvelous. Just delicious. It is everything I had hoped it would be. I think something's wrong.
Gourmet, this is such an honor.
Keep it together, Gianna. Keep it together.
The gourmet and the chef have poisoned the Emperor. Get them!
That man was, by far, the most insufferable decoy the Emperor has ever employed. I'm glad he's dead, but I'm even happier that you killed him. You, an assassin for the Dark Brotherhood, just made an attempt on the Emperor's life. Would have succeeded had it been the real man. Surprised? So was I when a member of your family came to me with a plan. We worked out a deal, you see, an exchange. I get you, and the Dark Brotherhood gets to continue its existence. But you know what? I've changed my mind. How about this? I kill you, and butcher each and every one of your miserable little friends. Your sanctuary's being put to the sword right now. That's what I think of this deal. You killed my son. All of you. And now you'll pay the price. Kill him. And make sure there's nothing left to bury.
Give up while you still can. I can do this all day!
Order of the arm. Stop right there. Smart man.
Return to the sanctuary. Your family is in dire peril.
wonder. Considering most of us are now dead, I assumed as much. And before you ask, no, I don't think it was you. Well, maybe I did. But you saving my sorry hide just now sort of erased any doubts. So, thanks. You've got that right. Only a matter of time before we're roasted alive. Come on.
Listener, I am your only salvation. Come, embrace me. You must speak with Astrid, here in the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Slow down. It's all right. You've been through a lot. Maybe you should just sit down for a bit. She's here? By Sithis, I thought we'd lost her. Let's go!
Shh. I'm sorry. Oh, by Sithis, I was such a fool. All of this... yes. I set you up. I wanted you dead. I betrayed you, the Night Mother, and everything I hold dear. And now, Marrow has betrayed me. I just wanted things to stay the way they were. Before Cicero, before the Night Mother, before you. I thought I could save us. I was wrong, but you're alive. So there's still a chance. A chance to start over. Rebuild. That's why I did this. Don't you see? I prayed to the Night Mother. I am the Black Sacrament. I'm saying you were right. The Night Mother was right. The old ways, they guided the Dark Brotherhood for centuries. I was a fool to oppose them. And to prove my sincerity, I have prayed for a contract. You lead this family now. I give you the Blade of Woe, so that you can see it through. You must kill me. Thank you.
Astrid is dead. It is as it should be. May she find redemption in the void. But while you live, the Dark Brotherhood lives. We must fulfill our contract. Emperor Titus Mede II must be eliminated. Speak with Armand Mortier at the Bannered Mare in Whiterun. He will know the true Emperor's location. But first, inform Nasir of your plans, for you are the listener and must bind this family together.
By Sithis, what a mess. What? Well, what did she say? Armand Mortier? But that would mean... You mean there's still a chance? But how? Our plan has gone to ruin. Everyone is dead. The family... All right then. Go. Go, my listener. Find out what that slimy bastard Mortier has to say. Then send the Emperor to Sithis. But when you're done, there's no use returning here, is there? I was thinking, the Dawnstar Sanctuary. We could make a proper home there. Listen, when you're finished with this Emperor business, meet Babette and me there. I'll find some way to move the Night Mother. Don't worry. Now go. And come back with a barrel full of gold, huh?
City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only. Fine. But we'll be keeping an eye on you. Halt! City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only. Fine. But we'll be keeping an eye on you. They say Helgen got hit.
We'll pay whatever it takes, but we must have this.
Welcome. Let me know if you want anything. I think I got a clean mug around here somewhere.
What is it? I said I didn't wish to be disturbed. By the gods! You're alive! But I'd heard your sanctuary. Please, you mustn't think I had anything to do with that. I wanted the Emperor dead. The true Emperor. I still do. It was Morrow. He... You mean after all that's transpired, the Dark Brotherhood will still honor the contract? Why, this is astounding news! Wonderful news! The Emperor is still in Skyrim, but not for long. He's on board his ship, the Kataraya, moored offshore in the Solitude Inlet. But you must hurry. If you can get on board that ship, kill Titus Mead II as contracted, I will reveal the location of the dead drop that holds your payment. Please, make haste. The Emperor's ship won't stay moored forever. We won't get a chance like this again.
You look like someone who can hold their liquor. How about a friendly contest with a staff?
Maybe so.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go? Climb and back and we'll be off. Solitude's a big port town, you know, full of sailors and tales of faraway lands.